Hello there guys, welcome back to Younes Talks Football. Welcome back to a brand new video. I hope all of you are doing well today. This is your preview for Chelsea versus Nottingham Forest, taking place tomorrow afternoon at 3 p.m. on a Saturday. I was going to say Saturday lunchtime. That might be a late lunch for a lot of you. But normal Saturday slot at 3 p.m. And this game, I think, is going to be different to the ones that we've been previewing from Bournemouth and before that. Why? Because we had the threat of a possible mathematical situation where we could end up relegated, right? And that is now gone. That's now averted. Why? Because we reached 40 points, ladies and gentlemen. Finally, Chelsea Football Club, we got to rise and stand for this. Chelsea Football Club reached 40 points. What an achievement. Honestly, man, look, from the get-go, I got to tell you this, yeah, we cannot have this happen again. Like, never. Never, never, never again. Never. In our lifetimes. No excuses. That is despicable. To even be in the conversation of relegation, for goodness sakes, lads, what the... I'm not going to swear. What are we doing? What are we doing? Anyway, absolutely unbelievable season for all the wrong reasons. Now that threat has been averted, we can focus on things that we really need to focus on now and give ourselves a little bit of a head start if we're looking to prepare for next season. Now, how do we do that? Now, there's two things, actually. One, the new manager, right? This new manager, who is it going to be? It seems 99.9% sure it's going to be Mauricio Pochettino. So you know what? We've got to get on the phone to this guy. If he's been offered the job, if we've only got little details, like apparently the news was saying that the only minor details that are left are in regards to image rights. I mean, that will be sorted in the space of a couple of hours when you think about it realistically. All the footballing stuff, if that's done and we know he's going to become our manager, get on the phone to him. And even if it means, yo, Poch, I know Lamps is in charge, but we'll pass him the information along from you if there's anything that you want to see right now in advance. What do you want to see? Who do you want to see play? Let us know. I would be on the phone to Poch right now. I'd be like, yo, do you have anything in mind that you want us to do? We might as well try it now, even if you're not here. Don't waste time. Don't waste time. Secondly, is to test every single player there is now. Who belongs at this football club? Prove it to me. Or prove it to us. Prove it to yourselves, you know. Do you really belong here? Now, I'm not going to completely put all emphasis on that and that only. Why? Because Frank Lampard is still meant to be the manager. Frank Lampard still has a responsibility. Frank Lampard still needs to set the team up. And Frank Lampard needs to make sure they're playing in a way where they can somewhat understand each other. So it's not all on the players. But if Frank is able to take any motivation or any ideas from what worked against Bournemouth and carry that forward with combinations and players that he noticed that maybe get along or maybe have some sort of chemistry that he can carry over, we got to start learning what we need to learn. That way Poch comes in and knows exactly where to start from. So the players, we all know our squad right now is quite divided when it comes to players that have the ability to play at Chelsea and the ones that don't. The ones that do need to be used. The ones that we have an idea of who will be used under Poch need to be used. And the ones that we're not sure about need to be tested. So that is what we need to start doing. Now, this game, don't get it twisted. People have it in their heads that Nottingham Forest at home is going to be easier than Bournemouth away. You got it wrong. Bournemouth are already pretty much mathematically safe. They're not getting relegated. They're 9 points behind with 3 games to go. 9 points ahead, sorry, with 3 games to go. And their goal difference is horrific. But there's no way Forest, Everton, Leicester, and who's the other team? There's so many teams. Nottingham Forest, Leicester, Everton, and Leeds, right? All of them are going to catch Forest. It's not going to happen, right? So, catch Bournemouth. It's not going to happen. So Bournemouth are safe. When you look at it mathematically, even West Ham, who are 7 points ahead, are safe. It's not going to happen. In the same way that Chelsea, mathematically, is possible, but it's so unlikely. It's the same for these guys. Nottingham Forest, however, have a big threat of relegation. They're only 3 points ahead of the drop zone. They're only 3 points ahead. So they need results. They're going to be dangerous. You best believe tomorrow they're going to come all guns blazing, and you don't want to play a relegation team that's in danger of getting relegated. You just don't. That's Forest more than Bournemouth last week. That was a good result, and that's something to, you know, use and utilise for confidence, for a winning feeling, to try and get something going. But I do think that we're not 100% yet. One win against Bournemouth isn't going to be, you know, the saviour for all of our failures that we've had so far. We still have problems in this team. So it's not a given that we're going to rock up tomorrow and it's going to be a certified win. As I said, Forest are more dangerous. So we need to be careful. And this is why we are mathematically safe now. So we've got a little bit more leeway. So what would I do? Personally, I'm looking to try and implement a formation and a system that I think is going to be, or as I've said, get on the phone to Poch. What I know is going to be more familiar with what Poch is going to be trying to use in this Chelsea team. What's his philosophy? We got to go with Operation Poch now. We can't be just thinking of what Lampard wants to do. That was, you know, when we were actually trying to survive, right? Now we've survived, you can say, for the sake of it, job done, I guess, right? Focus on Poch now. Why waste time? We're not going to gain anything. We're not going to lose anything. Worst case scenario, we finish what? 15th, 6th, 14th. That's it. Yeah, it is what it is. We've already stuffed the season. So you know what? Screw it. We might as well try. And we might as well learn. So I would go with what I think Poch will use. Now, Poch, we know he's used a 4-3-3. We know he's used a 4-2-3-1. He's not really gone to a back three before. I've not seen Poch play a back three. Unless if he's done it maybe a couple times. But that's just not his way. That's not his bread and butter. Back four, 4-3-3 or 4-2-3-1. Right now, I believe the personnel we have suits more of a 4-2-3-1. Why? Because we're going to be using Enzo and Kante. And we're going to be looking in the market to try and see who is going to pair up with Enzo, who is going to pair up with Kante. We're already seeing rumours about Lavia. We're seeing rumours about all sorts of DMs, right? We're going to go with a double pivot, which means that we're going to go with 2. That's not a 3, yeah? Which means that I think a 4-2-3-1 using wingers and one centre forward could be the key. 1-10. So, personally, for tomorrow, I would go in that direction. Now, as I've said, I would go with players that I think stand a chance. So, when it comes to the back line, we already know Reece James is out. Chilwell is out. Chilwell looks like he's got more of a setback. Frank Lampard confirmed in the press conference, so that's not looking good. Cucurella, we've got to keep an eye on him. He's still out. So, at left back, I think there's only one answer here, and we've got to go to who Frank Lampard did speak about in the press conference, and that's Lewis Hall. Lewis Hall is probably going to start, as Lamps did suggest. Lewis Hall's probably going to be given an opportunity anyway. We haven't got a left back. So, don't play Aspie at left back, please. No. You know, at right back is shocking enough. Left back, with all due respect. But right back, you can even understand. Left back, no. He's not done that since Mourinho was here. Yeah, let's not do that. Let's not do that. Lewis Hall, let him play 90. We've got nothing to lose. Lewis Hall, show us what you got. Since we last played Lewis Hall, up until now, let's see how much he's developed. Let's learn. Let's learn. Tomorrow's going to be a lesson. It's a lesson. We're going to school. We're trying to learn every single thing about our football team right now and our squad. So Lewis Hall at left back is what I would go to. In terms of right back, I think we stick with what we've done against Bournemouth, if I'm honest. We went with Chalobah at right back, didn't we? So you know what? I would say that is a safe bet. Centre-backs, I would stick with Thiago Silva and Badiashile. Let them keep it going. Koulibaly is looking like he's going to be available soon. Fofana's looking good in terms of recovery too. He trained apparently, so he is available. But I would stick with Thiago Silva and Badiashile. And that would be the back four for me. Enzo and Kante, without question. They are the only two suitable midfielders that we have at this football club right now. So they play together. In front, this is where I would stick with the wingers. Look, Madueke and Mudryk are going to be used as wingers under Poch. We know this. If it's Poch, we know it's going to be those two. So you know what? Play them. Screw it. Now, Madueke had a very bright performance against Bournemouth, albeit his final product was shocking. But, look, we're in the learning phase, aren't we? So you know what? If he's showing something at least, which is more than what we've seen from many lads, and from the team and from the club as a whole, right? In terms of how we should be doing things. Madueke on the pitch last week actually had the guts to be able to take the ball, take players on, get gone, managed to get past, managed to link up, but his last shot, his last final decision was the only thing lacking. That can be worked on. That can be worked on. So he starts. Mudryk on the left-hand side needs to start getting familiar. He's playing better and better, slowly though. Slowly but surely, he's making step-by-step moves. And let's just keep it going. Again, why waste time? So Mudryk on the left. This is where it gets a little sticky for me. Because if we're going to be playing with an attacking midfielder, and we're going to have a striker, it's difficult because there is no Fofana. Apparently, he's stuck with the under-19s or with the academy or whatnot. I'd love to play him. Aubameyang is going to leave Chelsea, so we shouldn't play him anyway. Havertz up top is just painful. Felix up top, weirdly enough, as a false nine, seems to have some sorts of benefit. But we need him in the 10. Because there's not much else that we can do. So this is where I'm stuck. And I think that the only possible way, the possible avenue, is to go with Kai Havertz up top and to stick Felix in the 10. But that kind of nullifies the point of why I think Felix should be on the pitch. Because Felix seems to operate well in a false nine role. So, I don't know. It's a tough one. I'm going to leave that to you. There's no graphics on the screen today because I just don't have the access for me to put all the graphics on the screen. I will be from next week, so make sure you guys are here for that. The next match preview, you will be getting the graphics back. So, don't worry about that one. But, I'm going to leave that to you. What would you guys do? In terms of a 4-2-3-1, a 4-3-3 I think is... I don't like to go with the three midfielders when we can have an extra attacker, you could say, in that phase. The 4-3-3 plus who's going to be the lone six. I feel like we stop Enzo when we play him in a lone six. And in a double pivot, I feel like him and Kante can have the flexibility to be able to use that space going forward when one has to drop back, you know, and just come into a partnership, which I think is what we're aiming for anyway. So we might as well start early, as I've said. So... that's my 11. That is what I would go with. Let me know what you would do in terms of the Havertz, Felix, striker, 10 situation. Would you stick Felix as a forward? Would you play him deeper in the 10? Who would you play up top? I'm going to cut this short for you. If we go with Felix in the 10, it's only Kai Havertz that can play up there. We're not going to play Aubameyang, as I've said, he's leaving. Fofana doesn't exist anymore, it seems. Nacho Fofana. There's no one else. There's no one else. So it's going to have to be Kai. So that's my 11. In terms of my score prediction, I'm not going to come on here and be like, yo, I'm completely confident. I'm not. I'm not. The problems are still there. Don't think one win has solved everything, as I said earlier on. Nottingham Forest are going to be more dangerous. Nottingham Forest have everything to play for. We don't have anything to play for. We've still got problems. They don't. I'm going to go 1-1. We should and we can win. Absolutely. I just think... the shock factor is what's going to get us with the intensity that Forest are going to come with, because they have their backs against the wall. They have to play. They have to get a result. If they don't, they're in trouble. And I just think that's going to give them the edge. That's going to give them the edge. That's going to give them the edge. So I'm going to go 1-1 because I think that confidence from last week might carry over. It will allow us to get a goal. I do think we'll score first, and then I think we'll concede. So let's wait and see what happens. There's news on Thiago Silva that seems to have dropped, and I don't blame him. I'm going to tell you guys now, if you haven't heard, in terms of the reports coming out for Brazil. I'm not sure if Matt Law's dropped the same. I've just read in the last couple of minutes. I haven't actually checked, so I don't know. But the reports from Brazil was that Thiago Silva wants to terminate his contract now, even though he signed an extension because he wants to go back to Brazil and finish his career at Fluminense. So I'm not surprised. There are many problems. This is exactly what I was saying. There are many problems at this football club right now. It's nowhere near stable. One win isn't going to solve everything. But it's a start. It's a start. We have to use something. So I'm guessing that we have to just try and use what we gained last week. Try and carry it over. But don't expect a super clean performance. And don't be surprised if all of a sudden we look back to our old selves and we don't know what we're doing. Because Chelsea Football Club this season is a write-off on every single level. And when you see a Thiago Silva, for example, who wanted to stay and loves London and his wife is happy and his family are happy, and all of a sudden, boom, I want to go. I want to terminate my contract. For someone as experienced as Thiago Silva, it tells you volumes in terms of the way that Chelsea are operating as a football club right now. This has got nothing to do with the squad or even Lampard. I'm talking upstairs, the owners, the structure, what we're doing. Thiago Silva's clearly seen it and gone, this is ridiculous. And he spoke in terms of a strategy. There is no strategy. And there has to be a strategy, especially with the transfers. Now he wants to go. So I don't blame him. I don't blame him overall. I don't blame him. And, you know, he's at the end of his career. He needs to think about how he ends things. You know, if it's a young player coming in, there's time. You can think of a project. He hasn't got time to do that. He's got to think, yo, I'm going to end my career. I don't want to end it in a bad way. Fair play to him, I guess. And if he does go, then at the end of the season, we'll give him a goodbye. Sad, but it is what it is. Anyway, let me know your thoughts down below. Your predictions as well. Let me know down below. Much appreciated. And then I will be dropping the match review afterwards, after the game is done. So make sure you guys are here for that one. Thank you all so much for watching. Hit the subscribe button if you are new. Hit the notification bell to be notified once I've uploaded. Smash the like button if you've enjoyed this. And I will see all of you tomorrow after it's all said and done. Let's try and get another win. If we get 2 wins in a row, I'm going to celebrate like we've won the league. 2 wins in a row. Don't think we've seen that for the last 85 years. I'll see you guys tomorrow. Have a good one, people. In a bit. Take care and peace.